just finished at my gym. And when's the last time I was in the gym? I don't know. I think I was last there. Oh, I know when I was last there. I had a very consistent week the week before I started this new job. Then I got sick and started the new job simultaneously. I got sick and started the new job. I got sick the day before the job, and I was in work sick for like a week. And also, I had no motivation to get into the gym. All right, this story is going to be on pause for a second, because y'all know I don't like talking when I get into the store. All right. Just trying to get myself a protein shake, if I can. What do we got here? Muscle milks. Option. Not be speaking anyways. It's all good. I just turned it off, turned it back on. But what I was saying was, today I was supposed to get up. I've been planning for a while. I said that, I'm gonna start this job. I'm gonna wake myself up at 5:30, get to the gym, then work out 6 to 7, I am not sure what is happening here. I keep turning the live on. The live goes on for a couple minutes and then it shuts right down. So I don't know. I'm gonna stay on here for a little bit before I even repeat the same story 4 times and see if y'all are here and if y'all can hear me. It's showing like the numbers are going up, so I think y'all can hear me, but drop something in the comments. Ruhana, hello. Gima, hello. How are you? How are you? Okay. Okay, so we seem to be stable now. I hope that it stays that way, because we seem to be stable enough for me to get out my story. Hold up. We seem to be stable enough for your boy to get out his story that I tried to give you 3 times and wasn't able to accomplish. So, yeah, I was dead set on when I started this job, and I was like, I have to figure out how my gym schedule is going to incorporate into the job. I said to myself, by the way, I'll let you know how this is if anyone cares about protein shakes, which most of you probably don't, but it's all good. If you're new to this channel, my life is just a part of the channel, and some people are like, why do I care about that, Mark? And I'm like, you don't have to care about anything that I care about, but you got options on which channels you follow. You want to know where I got that from? Oh, this is not as good as I thought it would be. You know where I got that from? I had a really good friend of mine at one point, and we had a disagreement. And to me, a disagreement is a disagreement. This wasn't like a life or death disagreement. This wasn't like the type of disagreement that I would end a friendship with somebody. This is just difference of opinion. You think one thing, I think the other thing. It's all good. I'll live, we'll get over it. I thought we would get over it quick. The person then started avoiding me, silent treatment, this and that and the other. And then I was like rethinking everything and saying to myself, was it really that bad that we are just not going to be friends after this? So, I asked the person if we could have a talk in person. And we did. The talk wasn't very long. The talk was about our disagreement. So I told the person, at the moment that we're having this argument, this is my belief on the topic that we were talking about. And I still believed that particular thing. But again, I am an agree to disagree person on most things. Like, there's maybe probably a handful of what I'll call non-negotiables, where I'm like, that particular thing, if you don't agree with me on that, I don't see you having a significant role in my life. But 95% of most things for me are like, you can think one thing, I can think another thing, agree to disagree, and this was one of those things. It was a light topic to me. So because I said, even after those few days that we didn't speak or we barely spoke, and there was time to cool off a little bit and think about the conversation, the best I could say, because I'm always true to myself, the best I could say was like, I respect and understand your viewpoint on the matter, but I still maintain my viewpoint on the matter. Nothing you said really made me think differently about the thing that we are discussing, arguing about, whatever you want to call it. So, because I stood on business, this person tells me, we're not really that good of friends, Mark. And mind you, this is a person who I believed was a very good friend, to the point of they used to call me like one of their siblings, and I used to do the same. Then all of a sudden we have this disagreement, and it's like, we're not really friends, we're not really close friends. And I was like, you basically said the contrary, hi Marshall, for months, years actually at that point, a couple of years at that point. And now all of a sudden, because of this one disagreement, now you're telling me that we're not really that close or whatever. Like, I know you're pretty much just trying to hurt me by saying that. It's like, the answer was like, nope. It was just a thing to say. We're just casual friends. So I was like, all right, I understand like why you feel hurt by the discussion that we had, and I know that once you had some more time to think, like you're not going to be the way that you are talking to me right now. You're not going to continue with that, and we're going to just go back to the way things were before. And then the person told me like, not everybody has to like you, Mark, and not everybody has to connect, and we just don't connect. And you know what? We all have options in life. You have options, and I have options. There's whatever billion amount of other people in the world. You and I don't have to be friends. And at the time when that person told me that was super harsh. I was like, wow, you have options, somebody that I speak to and have developed this close friendship with over 2 years. And, we had our ups and downs, but they were not really downs. Like, how some people are like, their squabbles with each other are so serious, and then they'll beef and they'll stop talking. Hi, Charicity. They'll beef and they'll stop talking for a while. then they'll come back after months of not talking. Like, it was not even anything like that. It was just everyday run-of-the-mill two human beings that don't always think alike and don't always agree on things, but we never had any serious problems, nor did I consider that thing that we were talking about a serious problem. It was just the worst of a normal discussion to me. We're having a discussion about a topic, and they thought one thing about it, and I thought another thing about it. No biggie to me. So that stuck with me. But then, so whenever you hear me, that whole roundabout story, because y'all know I do that by now, or at least my regulars know I do roundabout stories. The reason I'm saying that was when I just made that comment about options, that's where I came from. I have this collection of comments that people have said to me in my life that were meant to be really negative comments that I use humor to get through a lot of things, a lot of hard things in life. And I flip those negatives and turn them into positives. So, anyways, whenever you see somebody jump on this channel and say something stupid, and I have no other way to say it, okay, it's mandatory to pause when I see a fight happening in on the street. Anyways, when somebody comes on my channel and says something stupid, okay, I'll give you an example. Somebody comes on the channel and it's like, hey, what are you talking about on this channel? And sometimes, let's say, I'll say 50% of the time when somebody asks that question, they have genuine intent. Like, I just popped on your channel and I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm genuinely just curious to see if this is something that I want to add to my list. The other 50% jumps on and they're like, oh, what are you talking about on this channel? And then the follow-up comments show that they never had any genuine intent. And then sometimes they'll be like, why don't you talk about this? I don't like this topic. I'm not a fan of what you're talking about right now. Like, this is stupid, or whatever. And so that's why I always say, well, if you don't like my topic, if you don't like my content, if you don't like the way my face looks, if you don't like the way my voice sounds, if you don't like my my green hoodie, if you don't like the way that the light is hitting my face, if you don't like my beard, you got options. There's, I don't know how many YouTube channels on there. There's so much content that people can consume nowadays. And you could pick anybody but me. Instead of coming on my channel to tell me what you don't like, find a channel that you like and use your energy that way. I used that line on a client a few months ago, and she was furious with me. And I'll tell you how this thing went. This was a client who complained about me all the time, whether it would be to me directly, whether it would be to my supervisor, whether it would be they had contacts within the organization I was working for, and they would contact everybody, email everyone they knew, to try to get me in trouble. Mark's not doing this, Mark's not doing that, Mark's not doing this. And it honestly was not even anything that I was doing. I'm not sitting here and saying I'm like the perfect worker or anything, but I am trying to say that the things that this person was complaining about me for, she was not going to find anyone who is going to be doing those things significantly better than me. She was looking for reasons to complain. So eventually I said, you know what? I had a conversation with my supervisor. They said, apparently this person is dissatisfied with you. So we are going to switch that person to a different worker. And I said, perfect. And we're going to switch her to a different worker. So we did what we call a warm handoff, which is that I meet with that person alongside the person that they're supposed to transfer to. And then I'm like, okay, this is what we're working on. This is this person's needs, yada, yada. And we did that. And then at the end of the meeting, the person said, I'm going to be the one who's seeing you going forward. She looked at her like she had two heads. She was like, unless that's not what you want. She was like, I'll think about it. I am not sure whether I want you to work with me or not. I'll contact the supervisor and we'll see what happens. She contacts the supervisor and tells me, I only want to work with Mark. Mind you, this is the person I told you complained about me constantly. What if you got a tan with a line across your face like that? I would be unbothered by that. But anyways, she said to my supervisor, I only want to work with Mark. I'm only comfortable working with Mark. I don't like change, blah, blah, blah. After talking crazy about me for months, she said, you've done nothing for me. You're useless. You know, I used to, I can deal with most clients, but this one was just one of the worst that I ever had dealt with in my life. So, I finally got really fed up one day. Walked in, I got the attitude immediately from that person, as usual. Attitude. And I was just tired of it. So I said, hey, I'm a person who likes solutions, right? And in terms of trying to find adequate solutions of what I can do better in order to help you in my role. You have not appreciated or rocked with basically any of the changes that I've made or suggested. So it seems like there might just be an incompatibility between what I provide and what you deem acceptable. And I'm sorry for that. I said, when we tried to provide you with a different person to work with aside from me, you said, no, I only want to work with Mark. I said, I'm a solution-oriented person. So instead of you and I coming to the table every single time and you telling me how bad I am at my job, because obviously in your mind, I'm not doing anything to assist you. How about you explore another option, as in like a different person to work with that could adequately suit your needs better, that you don't have to be disappointed I threw all the words that she was throwing at me, that's not useless, that does not disappoint you, that is too inconsistent with the amount of times they contact you per month, blah 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 blah. She was furious. Every time that I've used that options line on somebody, I don't know why. Maybe I just remember how I felt when it was said to me. And I'm like, I wonder if other people feel similarly hearing that. And they do. They feel real upset whenever I say that. What's up, man? Who? The shadow make it look like you have a new fade. I wish I had a new fade. I wish I had a new fade. Yeah, so every time I've used that line, whenever I tell somebody you've got options, they do not like that. And I'm not surprised because I did not like that. But that's one. Another one was, I remember having a mediated meeting with one of my managers about 4 years ago, and the meeting was between myself, that manager, and an HR rep. And at the end of the meeting, I had to come up with a list of things that I wanted mediated, and one of them was that I said to the HR rep, I'm like, I've been working with this manager for almost 2 years, and I have never gotten one word of positive feedback or encouragement from this manager in 2 years. I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I said to her, I was like, have I done nothing right from the day I started with you up until now? Because that's kind of wild. Why am I still here? If I've been working with you for like 2 years and you have not come up with one positive thing to say about me, my performance must be terrible. She said, I'm so sad to hear you say that. She put on her best acting job. I'm so sad to hear you say that. You do a lot of things well. And I would have told you that if I had known that that's the way that you receive messages. She was like, I have a standard way of delivering my supervision to everybody where I just give them the data, and the data indicates whether they're doing well or not. And your data has shown improvements. And I was like, that's not a compliment. And then the HR rep was like, okay, so such and such, can you provide Mark with at least one compliment about the work that he's done, or like positive feedback about something that he has done since you've been working with him? She says to me, well, you're trending in the right direction. I laughed. I was trying to be as professional as possible because I remember the first few meetings that I had with her, with the mediated, with the HR rep, were extremely tense. So I went into this particular meeting with a goal of like holding my temper for this, because this lady made my blood boil. And so when she said you're trending in the right direction, I was thinking to myself, used all that brain power that it took you to become an RN and to be a supervisor in this top company, and I ask you for one compliment of one thing that I've done in 2 years of working with you, and the best thing that you come up with is you're trending in the right direction. So I've turned that into a joke. When if somebody ever like asks me for a compliment or something, I'm like, you're trending in the right direction. Sometimes I explain why it's funny, sometimes I don't, because I actually don't care a lot of the time whether somebody understands my sense of humor or not. I'll be having a laugh to myself, like I'll say something and nobody's understanding why I think it's so funny, but I still think it's funny. So once you have to explain, I hate when I say something and somebody's like, why is that funny? I'm like, I could explain it to you and you could still not find it funny, and most likely there's a small percentage of chance that you didn't find it funny just because you didn't get it or it went over your head. But typically, if you have to explain a joke to someone, you already lost the moment of it being funny. Like, even if they do happen to think it's funny after the fact when you explain it, it's more funny in like a, oh, I get it, more than a, it hit you in a way and tickled your funny bone, and you went from there. So yeah, trending in the right direction. Teacher told me that I marched to the beat of my own drummer. I don't know. It's like there's an accumulation of things that people have said to me over the years that I did not like. Like I said, when I first heard them, and used them in different ways, and now they're funny to me. So, and I use some of those things on my YouTube chat. That options thing, you got options. Like I said, that's where I get it from. I love telling people who say stupid things on my page that they have options of pages. And I know you might think that that's not welcoming, but if you're on my page long enough, you'll know that I invest, into knowing my people. When they jump on here, they say I'm having a bad day. I'll stop my topic and ask them what's going on. If they say they're celebrating a birthday, if they say they've lost somebody, I will speak to that if they want me to. But if somebody just comes on here and they're just passing time and they get on here to annoy me just for no reason, then whether you stay or whether you go is not really a big concern of mine. And I always tell people, you could go. If you want to go, you could go. If you want to stay, welcome back. Welcome, and I hope you come back. But if you come on here and you're like, this page isn't for me, off of watching me for 5 minutes, and I'm like, you're probably not for me either. And I had no problem saying that in life either. I'm the same way in life. Like, if you're in my life and you're consistent and you're somebody who genuinely cares about me, it's mutual, it's returned. But if you're somebody who's like fair weather friend, friend secret hater, or you're somebody who's just not supportive, fake supportive, people come and people go. Just like that person told me, people come and people go in life, and it'd be cool if everybody that was close to you forever is just gonna be in that same space with you forever, but that's not realistic. That's not life. Now I'm home, got a few things to do, and I don't know if I'm gonna pop back on here, but I think that today I'm gonna try. I'm so sorry I haven't done this yet, but I promise you that I'm going to try to put that Mama Fee interview up there. There was just like a little thing that I had to edit out. It was like a little thing that I had to edit out of the video, like nothing much. The thing is there in its entirety. I just had to like clip it from the point where she started in the conversation to the point where she left the conversation, because I felt like it was not a point in having people who watch the video on replay watch like an extra 10 minutes of just us talking before she got there. So I'm gonna put that up hopefully tonight, aiming for tonight. There's nothing to it. I just have to, when I have the time, hop onto the computer and jump on the computer and just upload it, and that's about it. Sorry for taking so long to do so. I don't even know what this is about to be. Okay. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more amazing content. Thank you all. Have an amazing night.